behind, man, cooking. Bring y'all a good video this morning, man. This is about Rich Paul. All these LeBron fans been creating narratives for years for trying to diss Michael Jordan, dissing Kobe Bryant, trying to find ways to discredit players from the past to uplift their GOAT, their savior, their king, LeBron Ramon James. Uh, and the GOAT of the year when it comes to sports media personalities, shout out to Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman is actually getting Rich Paul to keep it real on a lot of different subjects pertaining to basketball, pertaining to sports, period. And Max Kellerman and Rich Paul do got a new podcast. And they're speaking the real on that motherfucker. It's a lot of people don't want to touch on this. Man, salute to you, C-Dub Sports Talk. Appreciate you, brother. I always show love. It's a lot of mother. It's a shout out to deal with it. It's a lot of motherfuckers that's running away from this because it kills their narratives. It kills their talker points. It kills their way to discredit Kobe or to discredit Michael Jordan and make them look a certain type of way. Rich Paul got Kobe Bryant third on his list all time. He said Kobe Bryant is third all time. Of course he gonna advocate for his boy Bron, and which is understandable. You riding with your nigga till the wheels fall off, so you can't knock no nigga for that. But the simple fact that Rich Paul puts Kobe that high lets you know how people, his peers, how everybody felt about Kobe being Bryant. Because end of the day, you got nasty individuals trying to put Tim Duncan over Kobe and trying to downplay him, to put guys like Shaquille O'Neal even over him and things like that, and trying to put him 11th on the list all time, and that's disgusting. And this is a cat of Kobe Bryant that say Team USA. This is a cat of Kobe Bryant that got rid of Shaq so he could prove that he's the man. So for niggas to ignore that is really a damn shame. And Rich Paul, I appreciate him being real for a change and enlightening how great Kobe Bean Bryant was, to enlighten how great Michael Jeffrey Jordan was. And another parts of their show that's been going around, Rich Paul actually says that if it comes down to who's taking the last shot, who he wants to take the last shot, Rich Paul chose Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Now, in most cases, you guys, any go to any sport, they gonna say, man, if you wanted to do something that's in the clutch, they gonna choose their supposed GOAT of all time. Even Rich Paul himself said he would choose Michael Jeffrey Jordan to take the last shot. I don't see none of these bums talking about it because it kills their narratives. Because you got guys, shout out to my boy, you got guys who say Michael Jordan can't shoot, Michael Jordan had no left, and things of that nature. Then you got other guys say Jordan ain't got no bag and all these things that they talk about as well. And you hear those different things, right? But Rich Paul killed it by letting you motherfuckers know, despite of the shit that y'all say, I want Michael Jordan to take that last shot. I want Michael Jordan to be the one that had the ball in his hands if my life depended on it. My life depended on it. I'll roll it with Mike. This is Rich Paul for Club Sports. And you got to give Max Kellerman credit, because I don't think any sports media person would get this shit out of Rich Paul, no other than Max Kellerman. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people trying to run away from the Kobe Bryant not being third. Rich Paul got him third. And like I told y'all the other day when niggas was saying I was capping, shout out to Elanian. Shout out to my boy Elanian, the OG in the building. What I was saying the other day, shit, Kobe Bryant, it always been the talks of Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. That's always been how the people felt around the league. That always been the talks in the GOAT debate, Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. And niggas will include Kareem in that, but mostly it's always Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. And Rich Paul, man, smoked y'all dumbass LeBron fans out. He put that LeBron fanboy pack to his lips and basically told y'all bums that is basically Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. That's always was the talk, y'all. And for niggas to diss niggas and niggas to make up shit about niggas and niggas to create narratives and push propagandas just to try to uplift a nigga, even a nigga ahead of Clutch Sports, even a nigga that represents one of the most famous basketball players of all time, LeBron James, even said himself how he feel about Kobe and how he feel about Mike. And none of you bums talk about it. I don't see FIF talking about it. I don't see GJK talking about it. I don't see A Weezy Bang talking about it. I don't see none of that. Hey, John Wick, if I'm lying, my nigga, go see Max Kellerman and goddamn Rich Paul podcast, you dumb son of a bitch. See, it's bums and fanboys like John Wick that don't know a goddamn thing about basketball sitting right here and want to discredit Rich Paul now, because Rich Paul sat up there and say that if his life depended on it, taking the last shot, he choosing Michael Jeffrey Jordan. When it comes to Kobe Bean Bryant, Rich Paul say he's third all time. So in the end of the day, John Wick, if you go sit up there and try to discredit Rich Paul, you just an ignorant son of a bitch, and you just a LeBron fanboy that just don't know. Hey, I got tape. It's footage, you dumb motherfucker. And guess what? Niggas like you, John Wick, niggas like A. Johnny, niggas like Lamont, niggas like A. Weezy Bang, they ain't gonna talk about this shit with Rich Paul. They ain't gonna talk about how Max Kellerman been squeezing everything out the motherfucker on the podcast. Cause I know Max Kellerman said he wasn't gonna do it unless the motherfucker keep it real. He needed Rich Paul to keep it real. That's the only way he was gonna do it. That's the only way I see Max Kellerman doing something like this. Now, I ain't gonna put this bug out there. I ain't gonna throw a caveat out there to you guys though. I think Rich Paul got a hidden agenda too though. I think Rich Paul is ready to end Stephen A. Smith. And what's the best way to end Stephen A. Smith? To get a nigga that actually can cook Stephen A. Smith. Max Kellerman. So Max Kellerman, he probably won't mind into Stephen A. Smith. He probably won't mind putting it all out there as Stephen A. Smith truly was and all the propaganda, all the bullshit that he pushed. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's an agenda behind it. I think it's a bigger side to things that a lot of people not real. He's not done yet, John Wick, because he just signed that $100-some million deal. So he ain't done yet. They gave him that money for a reason. But if a motherfucker go take him down, it's going to be Max Kellerman. And I'm telling you now, John Wick, be on the lookout for C-Dub Sport. I see it coming. Rich Paul cooking up something. He was like, man, all right, I'll do this podcast with him. I'm going to keep it 100 with him. I ain't going to be on no politics shit. We just go chop it up and talk shit. And we go kick it. But guess what? I got something that I need you to do for me, though, Max. I'm going to keep it real with you, Max. I'm going to tell the truth on the show. But I want you, this is what I'm going to need you to do for Clutch Sports. I'm going to need you to silence that motherfucker Stephen A. Smith. And I'm telling you guys now how that show is rising, the attention that it's getting, it's probably going to be one of the bigger podcasts out there. And I won't be surprised if LeBron James would be added to it in the offseason, and LeBron James do a lot of special guest appearances on that podcast as well. And they going to be talking real shit then. And they going to be so real. It's so non-political on that show to the point where it's going to end a lot of these motherfuckers like Stephen A. It's going to end a lot of these motherfuckers like Jason Whitlock. It's going to end motherfuckers like Rob Parker. Going to end motherfuckers like Nick Wright. It's actually going to knock all them niggas out the box. That's what them niggas not seeing. John Wick, C-Dub Sports, and deal with it. That's what I actually see. I think they try to bring authentic shit back into the sports conversations and back to the sports world for us being authentic and being real and just speaking real shit instead of pushing propaganda to try to put down one nigga and uplift another nigga, or to make lies about one nigga to make the nigga that you believe is great good. So I think Rich Paul's aspect of bringing along Max, hey Max, we know you the one that could do it. You could silence the Skip Baylesses. You can silence the Stephen A. Smiths. You can shut up the Jason Whitlocks. You can shut up the Rob Parkers and Chris Broussards. So I can actually see Clutch Sports getting on the right side of things just so they can eliminate the whole sports media and take over the whole sports media at the same time and go back to what it used to be. So I'm telling you guys now, if this chess move actually play out like I think it's playing out, I'm gonna have to do a show, and I have to give that motherfucker credit. I'm going to have to sit up there and give Rich Paul credit. And give him props if he pulled that off. But that's the bigger sign to me. By him saying the things that he's saying about Kobe Bryant, by him saying the things that he's saying about Mike, he actually speaking from a place of, man, we know these niggas great, bro. So I'ma give them niggas their flowers. I'ma give them niggas their credit, nigga. I'ma uplift my nigga. I'm still gonna ride for my nigga. But I'ma let y'all know, for Rich Paul, from the behalf of Club Sports, we keep it real over here. And that's what I think he's trying to do now. And I think that's the lane that he leaning towards, for us bringing authentic, real shit back to the sports world, because we ain't had that in a long time. Like I said, one of the realest sports personalities of all time was Jim Rome. Jim Rome was so real to the point where that a motherfucker former quarterback for the Rams punched his ass because Jim Rome didn't back down and kept it so 100 with him. The motherfucking quarterback snapped, lost his composure. So I think Rich Paul, in hindsight, knows Max Kellerman is that type of guy that's not scared, and that will check motherfuckers, and that will sit up there and put fire into motherfuckers and keeping it real. So I just believe, though, it's a bigger picture with Rich Paul doing what he's doing with Max Kellerman. I think it's a bigger picture with Rich Paul actually keeping it real when it comes to Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan and a lot of different things niggas talk about on the daily. I think it's a bigger picture with that. And I truly believe, y'all, these sports shows that y'all watch on Fox, I think these sports shows that y'all watch on ESPN, it's gonna be over. Shout out to Jig is Free. Salute to you. I think it's over. I think we won't have first takes anymore. I think we won't have first things first anymore. I won't think we had the Rob Parker and them show anymore. I don't see it anymore. All you gonna see is the player podcast, and now what Rich Paul and Max Kellerman doing now, you putting the Gills Arenas on fire. You putting the Jeff Teagues on the spot. You putting the Draymond Greens. You bringing all these other motherfuckers. They gonna have to keep it thorough and keep it real. And I think that by them starting that, that's gonna eliminate a lot of motherfuckers from the sports media world. That's what I believe he's trying to do. Rich Paul for years played the politics game, but I think Rich Paul got tired of the politics. I think Rich Paul finally finna hang up the politician shit and start speaking from the heart and speaking from the real. So that way you can eliminate them bitch ass niggas. You can eliminate the politicians like Stephen A, Skip Bayless, Nick Wright. You could Jason Williams. You can get rid of all them motherfuckers by playing the role that you're playing. So I don't see why a lot of people are not talking about what Rich Paul is doing and not seeing the bigger picture. See, a lot of niggas just gonna get emotionally caught up because he got Kobe Bryant third all the time. They gonna get emotionally caught up because he's saying he want Michael Jordan to take the last shot. They're not thinking about the bigger picture. And one thing I will say about Club Sports, they always try to be ahead of the curve. They always try to be ahead of everyone and beat motherfuckers to the punch. And I think what they doing right now with that podcast is gonna beat motherfuckers to the punch. And I'm telling you now, I won't be surprised Fox and ESPN lose all their shows if they keep pushing the needle like they pushing the needle. They can't stop. They gotta keep going. They gotta keep putting pressure on these bums. That's one thing for sure. They gotta keep putting pressure on these bums. But I believe it's coming. But man, I appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate the likes, appreciate the support, man. Y'all hit that like button. If y'all not subscribe to Hollywood Heard. This gonna be one of the realest shows you gonna be a part of. This gonna be one of the realest channels you gonna be a part of. Like I said, I'm just establishing myself. The StreamYard's gonna start getting put up. Salute to John Wick. Hey, John Wick, I know you see the vision, man. It's bigger than what everybody thinks, though. It's bigger than what everybody realizes, though. I don't think a lot of people see what Rich Paul is doing by talking highly of other niggas and keeping it real about certain things. Remember, y'all hit that like button, man. If y'all not subscribe. But I'm telling you, man, I think Rich Paul is trying to eliminate all the sports media, y'all. Salute, y'all. I'm out.